This is the review of energy. Energy, virya, energy. Virya is associated with hero energy. It's often misunderstood. We misunderstand energy a lot, and we think that it often, in practice, speaking for myself, that it means we need to try harder, we need to push harder, we need to strive more. Yeah, we need to make heroic kind of striving in order to accomplish the way. You know? And what is really pointed to here in energy in Buddhism is a kind of balanced energy, an enthusiastic energy. Think about something that you do that you love doing and the energy that you bring to that. Hmm? That kind of energy, the willing energy. Now, it still takes energy. You're bringing energy to something that you care about. And sometimes we have to bring that energy to meditation. It's not going to show up by itself. It's not going to show up just by closing our eyes. It's not. What's going to show up when we close up our eyes is our wild and crazy minds, thinking minds, yeah, planning minds, worrying minds. Yeah, that's what will show up. It takes energy to say no, no, not now, not now, to the thinking mind. Now the energy, as in cultivating the holding environment, it's collecting the energies of mind and heart and body enthusiastically, with an upbeat kind of warmth, a kind of upbeat kind of warmth. You've heard me talk about this before, that on a scale of 1 to 10, we can all do this subjectively. We all can know right now what our energy level is right now on a 1 to 10. You'll know what it is. For most of us, it would be it could be anywhere from 3-ish to 7-ish. Yeah, somewhere in that zone generally. You can check it in. Just what number is it? What number is it as you're sitting here right now, listening? What kind of energy are you bringing to this moment? Yeah, all of you. Yeah. What is considered optimal, the optimal range of balanced energy in these practices is the 4 to 6 range. It's somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere in the middle. Yeah. It takes some energy. It takes some energy to practice. Mindfulness is intentional. It's not about, now I'm just going to close my eyes and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. That's not it. It's directing. It's saying, no, this is the orientation. This is the orientation with balance and with care and with a certain kind of the energy of enthusiasm in the 4 to 6 range. I want to get into that balanced energy. And balanced energy is not an idea. It is an idea also, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking to find what it feels like. 4 to 6, what that energy feels like, what that balanced energy feels like, because this is one of the positive reinforcements that we want around balanced energy, because it feels good when energy is balanced. And when you start to dial into that and check into that regularly, you'll see for yourself, check it out for yourself, see if it isn't so. There's more harmony in the overall system when the energy is at that level. When it's too little, there's too much lethargy, there's too much driftiness. When we get down to 3 or 2, we're in 3 a lot, by the way. We're in 3 a lot. Where we're just kind of drifting along, There's not really any intention with a 3. 3 is we're kind of drifting along, kind of energy. Now, we may not be getting into any trouble when we're in 3 energy, but that's the kind of energy where we can be swept away by whatever winds come blowing along, because there's no real center in 3. We're easily blown over. We're easily affected by the next news article, by the next thing we hear, by the next thing we see. We're not able to approach it with balance and perspective. When you're in a balanced energy, you're able to bring more of that balance to whatever comes along. You're able to attend to what you need to attend to. Yeah. And in meditation feels better when you're in the 4 to 6 range as well. But check it out. Check it out. When we're in 3 or less, it's just not as effective. It's just not as effective, and it doesn't feel as good. And when we're in 7 or more, there's too much anxiety. There's too much low grade. We're in 7 a lot too. It's low grade, chronic-y, little chronic-y energy, speeding along. I'm just kind of buzzing along, but I'm not quite, I'm not feeling at home. I'm not really feeling comfortable in my body. I'm not really feeling grounded. I'm not talking about a big deal here. I'm talking about right now. Can you see what 4 to 6 feels like? It's just like this. I'm 4 to 6 right now speaking to you. Okay? You would know it if I started to speak from 7 to 8. I'd suddenly be talking like this and I'd be speaking. I'd be speedy. You'd feel me. You'd feel my agitation. And if I was in 3, well, it would just be a little bit too mellow. It would just be a little bit too mellow, or a little bit too not quite focused. Well, you could feel it. You know it. Have you seen a speaker? It was speaking from a number 2 or number 3. It's like deadly. It's deadly. But it's also irritating when there's a speaker at 7 or 8. There's too much. It's too much manic. It's too manic. It's too manic. You know? Yeah. So these energies, this is good to play with. It's good to discover this. See it for yourself. Like the Buddha said, come and check it out. Check it out. And learn how balanced energy is the way to go. It's the way to go in our life, and it's the way to go in our meditation practice. And we do have a choice. We do have a choice here to recognize what it is. Basically, when it's lower than 4, it's good. How do I get a little bit more up into 4? How do I bring a little bit more interest, a little bit more care, a couple more deep breaths, get a little bit more energy into the organism here, a little bit more. And if I'm a little manic, how do I calm it down a little bit? How do I do that? It's not easy. It's not easy. We're pretty wired beings, Yeah. We have a lot of habits. We have a lot of habits around being speedy, and we have a lot of habits around being drifty, on both ends of the spectrum energetically. And it's not to add judgment. My goodness, we're not about adding judgment to any of that, but it is about, oh, okay, I see where it is. How would I move it up if I wanted to move it up a little bit more into that middle zone? Okay, I recognize it. I'm simply making a choice. I'm not going, bad boy, you slipped into number 3 again. We're not doing that, right? Just, oh, okay, a little more energy. It was a large meal. We tend to get a little heavier, a little heavier there. Okay. Bring a little bit more energy. And when I'm a little more wired, how do I begin to bring it back down a little bit? And in meditation, for sure. Remember, the 7 factors really are about, well, we call them the 7 factors of optimal presence as well. But this is also one of the really important factors. Meditation will not go deeper if we don't familiarize ourselves with that 4 to 6 zone of energy and learn how to stay there more of the time and learn how to come back there. When the mind goes away, it's not just bringing the mind back, it's bringing the energy back into that balanced energy zone. It's coming back what? With care and interest. It's not just get back over here. It's coming back with care and interest, right? Yeah, yeah. So this is one of those very simple things that we can do many times a day, whether we're in our meditation practice, which we can try here in a couple of minutes. Yeah, a couple of minutes, we're going to meditate together. So we'll play with it in this very meditation practice. Yeah. But even as you're sitting here now, yeah, you see, it can be played with right now. Right now, you can check in, give yourself the number. What number are you now? You see that? It's an energetic shift is different than a content shift. It's not like I want to think about something else. That's another thing. Thinking about something else that might be a little bit more wholesome. That's another whole practice, right? But we're talking about not thinking about something else, but energetically. What's the energy like? And how do I either cool it down a little bit if it's running hot, if I'm running hot, or raise it up a little bit if I'm a little bit too dull, a little bit too drifty, a little bit too dull, you know? Yeah. And playing with that and seeing that it is possible. It's sometimes in these little practices that we gain some confidence. Oh, it's like pedals in a car. It's like, oh yeah, I see. I see. I do have some control over the energetic level here, but I have to remember to remember. Always, I have to remember. Oh yeah. What's that energy level? Pretty soon, if you play with this a little bit, you'll start to notice it automatically. Those things they have in cars now? Amazing. They didn't used to have these, right? When you get too close to a car or back up, it goes beep, 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 beep. It lets you know? Well, this is what happens for me now. When I go out of the 4 to 6 range and I go up to 7, 7.5, there's a little something in me that goes beep, 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 beep. Getting hot in here. Getting hot in here. Yeah. Yeah. I'll know it. You know what I mean? I'll just know it. It's like, yeah, oh right, yeah, no, that's uncomfortable. That's because I'm up in the 7 range, and you bring it down. You start to become familiar with some of these energetic spaces and what's useful about them and what's not so useful. Right? It's one of these places of discovery, finding out what really is. Brings more harmony. And again, this is completely separate from content now. It's just the overall energy that we're bringing to bear. Whether right now it's to listening, yeah. Then we'll bring our attention to our meditation, and we'll play with this in our meditation. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind attention. Yeah. All right. So let's open it up. Open it up. Yeah. Now, when you're ready, and gradually slowing it down a bit, gradually slowing it down a bit. Maybe lightly closing the eyes, and maybe a few more shifts there, or sways or rocks or twists. Mm. And then we're going to want to move attention to some degree away from the thinking mind and into the breath and the body. One way to do that is to intentionally draw a few deeper breaths, expanding on the inhale and expanding on the exhale as well. I've also noticed that expanding a few breaths right at the beginning helps. If I'm a little on the wired side when I sit down, it tends to cool out the energy a little bit. And if I'm a little bit sleepy, it tends to raise energy a little bit. Just the activity of drawing a few deeper than usual breaths. But that's for you to explore, see if it's useful. And with each breath now, for a while, we orient towards settling. And for the purposes of this meditation practice, we'll be orienting toward balanced energy in that 4 to 6 range. It's like an energetic training, as it were, to stay in that balanced zone. And you'll notice, energy is jumping around too as we meditate. So when it starts to get um, a little too light, when it starts to go down to like number 3 or so, you'll notice the mind will start to drift. Get drifty or dreamy. And if you're making a little bit too much effort, it will start to go up into 7. And it'll start to get a little more tight or controlled. Think of the metaphor of riding a bicycle. You know, at a certain point, we don't need to squeeze the handlebars too hard. But we're not taking our hands off the handlebars entirely either. Still orienting. In a balanced way. And of course, being patient with this, we're learning to do this. Yeah. And this is literally a cultivation. We're cultivating, discovering and cultivating a balanced energy. And when you notice that directly in your own experience, cultivating it more, learning to stay in the vicinity of balanced energy. No matter what comes up in the mind in terms of content, learning to stay with balanced energy, with balance. In the last few minutes of the meditation. Last few minutes.